Okay, it is that time of month for the latest chapter of Dragon Ball Super, chapter number 53. It is the 20th, and as always, the brand new chapter of Dragon Ball Super has come out and kicking off where we last left off. Actually, not really. In the last chapter, there was a huge cliffhanger about Goku and Merus. This Merus guy who is being thrown into this story as this secret angel is trying to teach Goku Ultra Instinct, but for this chapter, the majority of it actually takes place on Earth. But there is some stuff about Goku and Ultra Instinct at the end, I'll get into that later, but for now, the chapter starts off on Earth, on Kami's lookout. And although I was really waiting for more of an explanation on Merus and Goku's Ultra Instinct training, this chapter is still really good. Toyotaro makes everything fun to read, and it says a lot about him that he can do all this without Goku and Vegeta showing up until the end. So this chapter starts out on the lookout, where we see all the guys who are going to be involved in this story. Krillin, Bulma, Piccolo, even Hercule are there, and they're sitting there waiting for the attack of Moro's henchmen because they know that eventually he's going to be there, and they say 10 days. However, in the distant galaxy, some of Moro's henchmen have been instructed to go to Earth, and these henchmen, one of them is really cool, the two others are a bit whatever, but one of them looks like Hit with some horns and a crystal on his head, and he's looking to be a pretty beastly character. He can absorb people by grabbing their necks, and then he knows everything about them and can use all their techniques. The only reason this guy was locked up before in a prison was because of Merus. He was the only one that was able to contain this guy, and from what we've seen of Merus, Goku can't even contain him, so Moro's army is very strong. They go to this planet and you see the destruction of a civilization. 7-3 grabs this porcupine looking guy by the neck and he gains porcupines himself. That's what I'm saying, all the abilities of another race, if he gets you around the neck, you're pretty much gone, because it's like fighting a clone of yourself on top of this guy's power. So to cut a long story short, 7-3 sees some guys using a teleporting power to get away from him. He grabs them around the neck, and just like that, he's on Kami's lookout instantly. There's a bit of interaction between these guys and some of other Moro's henchmen, but the only strong guys that are here are Krillin and Piccolo. The rest are Jocko, I guess you can count him as being somewhat strong, but what ends up happening is 7-3 grabs Piccolo around the neck, and straight away the next thing he does, special beam cannon, and he puts a hole straight through the lookout. Not only did he learn the special beam cannon, but he also has stretchy arms, and he punches Jocko off the lookout right in the face. So what we have is a 3v3. It's Piccolo versus 7-3, Jocko versus this guy, and Krillin versus this guy. Piccolo and 7-3's fight is actually really interesting because we've always seen Piccolo make clones of himself to try and be better than himself every single day, and now he actually has to fight a version of himself in 7-3 when he takes his techniques. However, this guy 7-3 is just a killing machine. He's a robot, his artificial intelligence, and he's designed to follow orders. Piccolo can't keep up, and we eventually see that this guy's special beam cannon that he stole off Piccolo is outdoing Piccolo's special beam cannon. However, Earth is a very strong place. Gohan shows up, glasses and all. He says the reason he wasn't there sooner was because he was at a college conference, so I guess that's fair, and he takes off his glasses and says, I guess Vegeta and my dad must be off-world. And so, who would have thought, Gohan's there to save the day. Gohan was pretty powerful in Toyotaro's Tournament of Power version of the manga. I guess Toyotaro really likes Gohan, so we might actually see him do something in the next chapter, but that is where the events on Earth end. The next bit of story that we get, it's only very little, but again, we spent most of this chapter on Earth. It shows Merus and Goku training in their version of the hyperbolic time chamber. Goku is getting beaten down. He looks like he has so much battle damage, and Merus has none at all. Goku's clothes are torn and his face is all beaten up. He can barely stand, so I guess for the past few days, Merus has just been beating down on Goku, and Goku can't do anything. And Goku's saying, I'm kind of doubting that I ever even managed to tap into Ultra Instinct because of how difficult it is right now. Merus tells him that the quickest way to achieve it again is to replicate those conditions that you were first in the Tournament of Power. Goku looks at him and says, you mean I gotta be prepared to die during this training? And Merus looks at him and says very seriously, yes, exactly. Goku, just getting up to his feet with a smile on his face, says, fine, then you'd better come at me to kill. And I love that version of Goku, the Goku that's willing to put everything on the line to get what he wants, and this is how he will achieve Ultra Instinct again. It may not be in the next chapter, but very soon, Merus is going to try and annihilate Goku to get him to tap into Ultra Instinct again. It cuts from Goku to Vegeta after this, and he is still on planet Yardrat on top of this pointy stick, and his training isn't going much better than Goku's. He says, how many more days of this do I have to do? And the guy there says, your spirit is even less stable than Goku's was when he was here back in the Frieza saga. The way you're going, it'll take over 150 days. So both Goku and Vegeta aren't having much luck on their training, but if they get through it, it'll be very beneficial, and that is the end of this month's chapter. chapter. This chapter was mainly set on Earth to give some of the other characters a shine like Piccolo, and eventually Gohan shows up, so that's pretty much it. This was this month's chapter of Dragon Ball Super, chapter number 53. The next one comes out on the 20th next month. Stay tuned for that, let me know what you think. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Dragon Ball video.